All right, we're back here on the Chase Thomas podcast with two of my favorite AT aliens. Rashad Milligan is here. Rashad, you're dancing around Phipps Plaza. You're reeling from just a movie that you can't talk about because you saw it early, so you can't do any spoilers or anything. You can't even talk about it.
Yes, I cannot, according to contract, but it was small.
Mm-hmm.
It was very scary. I can say that. It's very
That's
scary.
what you can say. It's just that it's very scary. When does it come out?
Friday.
Oh, so this is early. Okay.
Days. It comes out in 2 days.
Okay.
Man, boy, never again, man.
Well, also here, Malik Brown of Rolling Out as well. Malik, good evening, sir. How are you?
What's going on, man? Doing good. I think I guess I'm the calm one today. So
hey.
and congrats to you, Chase. You know, last time we talked to you, you were a fiance.
I was not a fiance anymore. Married man.
Yes, sir. Leveling up.
Oop, there it is.
Yes. It's a cool feeling. It's a cool feeling. And with that, I had to break my foot to really get into my old age. Is like, hey, you're old enough to get married. You're old enough to break some bones for the first time in your life. Never broken a bone. I broke my foot.
How did you do that? What happened?
I mean, I'm a runner, and I've been running consistently for 16 years now, and basically the math caught up to me of running consistently for a long period of time on the roads. And I don't know if you knew about Knoxville, Tennessee, not the same as Atlanta. You're going up hills. It's a little bit rockier. It's a little bit harder on your body and on your bones.
Yeah.
And I stepped off the sidewalk wrong and just put too much pressure on the top of my foot. And I was wearing these Beats noise canceling headphones, right? Like the Studio 3s.
Yeah.
Really, really good noise canceling headphones. I heard the pop in the head. Like, that freaked me out. When you hear the pop, like, and you have the headphones on, I was like, I'm glad I did not hear. I probably would have passed out if I had actually heard the sound my foot made without the headphones on, because it freaked me out. And but you know, I'm a warrior, man. I did the wedding, did all that, did the honeymoon. We're good to go.
Perfect. Hey, speedy recovery to you. You got to get back on your feet.
Hey, Michael Jordan had the same exact injury I did in 1985, and people have been saying I had like the parallels between my podcasting career and Michael Jordan's NBA career, one and the same. So he had a navicular stress fracture in his left foot in 1985, and you know that he didn't do surgery. He was only allowed. The team did not allow him to play more than 7 minutes a half for the whole season. I didn't know that. 1985, Michael Jordan only played 7 minutes a half when he came back. That's all they would allow him to do.
Did they say that in The Last Dance?
I don't know, because this was like all pre like any kind of contention. Like 1985, I think he was like 22 at that point. He was still so young, but he was like, I'm playing, and they're like, well, can you imagine that now of anyone like you telling a team doctor, you're like, no, I'm playing, and they're like, well, let's negotiate. How about 10 minutes a night? No, how about 9? No, you're just like, all right, we'll do 7 a half, and that's good to go. That's insane that was like what he was able to get. But Michael Jordan built different. This is fun. I like this. We never know what's going to happen here with Rashad bouncing in and out on youtube.com/Chase Thomas Podcast. We are talking NBA on this very podcast because it has been a week for the NBA. NBA Media Day has, I would say, not been great for the league across the board. I don't know. I was texting some friends about it. I'm like, I think there are 2 happy teams right now. The Bucks are happy. Like, they seem really content with life and where things are. And maybe the Nuggets, and everyone else is pretty miserable. Like, every team, you're just like, oh, the vibes there are terrible. Oh, the vibes there are terrible. Oh, the vibes there are terrible. And then the biggest, we just need to put like a perpetual bogey is never going to feel 100% notice. Like, I love Bogdanovich. That man is never going to be 100% healthy in his entire life. Like, I love that dude, but it's like, hey, he's the only one not doing training camp and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, of course he's not. That man has not been healthy this entire time in Atlanta. It's just, he can't. His body can't do it. But I don't know. Like, the vibes at Media Day, quite bad all across the board with DeAndre Ayton and company. Ben Simmons just like, I'm going to play the 5. And you're like, okay, sure. Kyrie Irving, I gave up a 4-year contract because of blah, 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 blah. And then Kevin Durant's like, Markieff Morris, I think, was just that, like, he said something about his own marriage and how it's the same. Like, he made this comparison where he's like, we broke up a bunch of times and the marriage is better off for him. We're like, what is happening? What is everybody saying? And then like just all across the board, LaMelo Ball saying stuff he should absolutely not be saying in Charlotte. You just go up and down the list and you're like, where is the PR department all across the board? What is happening? I don't know. Am I overblowing this, Malik, or did y'all have the same reaction to just every team's media day this week?
I think I did. It's funny because me and Rashad were in the office, and of course, like when the tweets were coming out, I would say something. I'm like, dang, like it just felt like it got worse and worse, like every hour. Like in the morning, it started with, of course, the Nets and Kyrie and Katie talking, and then I think as the day went on, I think the next crazy thing I may have heard was Christian Wood. He didn't know.
Oh, I forgot about that. That was like 19 just awkward press conferences ago where he's like, oh, that's news to me coming off the bench. And you're like, oh, cool.
Like, you just traded this guy. You traded Christian Wood to come off the bench for who? JaVale McGee?
Oh, my God. So but that's what you saw. Like, JaVale McGee probably was like, hey, I'm going to get my 12 minutes, and that's how it's going to go. Like, not surprising, but it apparently was news to Christian Wood. I mean, I'd forgotten about that one. I mean,
Christian, yep. And then I know you said most of them, but I think the Pacers, I think Miles Turner was like, this is the last time for the rest of the season I'm gonna address these trade allegations. You know, I've been in trade rumors for like the past 5 years, and you know, all this. I'm like, yo, like it like you said, it's different. Media day was different this time around.
Everyone wants to get traded. No one's happy with where they're at. I mean, Zion looks great. That was a positive. Zion looks as healthy as he's ever been and looks like he's going to be as dominant as ever. Jokic saying, I want to be the Tim Duncan for Denver. Great vibes there.
Butler.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler.
The look.
Well, he said he was cutting it, right? Like before game one, he said he was just doing that. What was his reason for that?
He said he was supposed to make social media mad or something.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
I mean, just an incredible time. Rashad, did you have the same perspective on media day?
Yes. Yes, but yes, no. I definitely agree. Like my sentiments are pretty much the same as Malik's. Like as far as he said it, and talking about the Christian Wood news, and just I don't know, like I don't think I've ever seen someone get re-signed after kind of requesting a trade, requesting more money. They get more money, and then all of a sudden they're not happy. Like usually people just care about getting the money, and he got the money, and he's still not happy. So it's kind of.
So you're talking about Ayton.
I'm talking about Ayton.
Yeah.
And that was just kind of confusing. And then Kyrie, when they asked him about the trade request, he did all the the stuff he did this offseason of like the my native tribe. I know myself, Malcolm X, and he's like, don't believe the media, they're lies and sheep. And he ends up staying in Brooklyn, and he's like, see, I told you guys there was nothing to worry about. And then they ask him, hey man, were you about to get traded? And he said, yeah, pretty close. So the whole thing doesn't really make much sense, So it's just kind of like media day all around. Like he said, it was crazy. Mo Harkless, the masking.
Yeah,
hey Mo, what are you gonna add to the team, and what are you gonna do for Atlanta? He's like, yeah, I've already done a couple turkey events and giving back to the kids, and I really love the city of Atlanta, but I love playing with Trey and DeJounte even more, and it's going to be a great time. And then they trade him. So,
cold world, man.
Yeah, it's crazy out here. Yeah, they trade him the next day, so it's
and I thought he was going to play. I thought he had a rotation spot.
Yeah.
I did too.
Yeah, that's well, I mean, because he kind of had to. You think about who left on Atlanta, and they needed him. So I don't know.
Do we know how to pronounce the new player's name, by the way? Do we know?
Oh no, not a chance. It's Fit Radmanovich.
Oh my god.
I don't think that's it. Something tells me that's not it. Yeah, I don't know. Like the Ayton stuff too is just he doesn't want to be there, and like he hasn't talked to Monty Williams, and that's just they're rolling, and they're just like, I'm just here so I won't get fined. Russell Westbrook's like, yeah, they don't want me, but I'm still gonna be here. I'm gonna cash these checks. I'm gonna go play for like until they trade me, but like acknowledging that like, hey, maybe they didn't want me here. I don't know, man. Like this is I don't know how you fix this like across the league where man, that's not the vibe you want coming into a new season with everyone seemingly miserable about their current predicament. And I don't know how you fix it. I just know that that's not really what you want the look to be if you're Adam Silver is just that like every media day where it's supposed to be happy. Like this is the time when everyone should be optimistic. All your teams should be like, we feel great about where we're at. We had a great summer. Like we think we can make the playoffs. We think we can contend if things go our way. And you have every player seemingly just you're fire over here, fire over there, and you're like, oh my god, like this is. Can we have one normal media day for some team? Can we do one normal one? Can someone just say we're really happy to be here and ready for a new season? Can we get one of those? But I don't know.
Media day to me is supposed to give like first day of school vibes. You know,
yes.
you come back. You know, you haven't seen your classmates and over a couple months, and you come back like, oh, I haven't seen you wherever, man. How you? You know,
yeah.
It's nothing like that. It's like it's like whatever happened on the last day of school where you had beef with that person. It's still here the first day of school the next year.
It's so bad. Malik.
Yes.
Something I've been thinking about with the new season, and now that the trades and everything is kind of done, your top four in the West are who right now? If you had to pick who are top four in wins going into this year, who would your top four be? Because I found this exercise to be extremely difficult right now. And I think the East was a lot simpler for me. The West, I could not get my head around the top four. Who is your top four right now? If you had to map it out.
Definitely. So I've already been going on a run. Telling my friends that the Clippers and the Nuggets are going to be in the Western Conference Finals.
Okay.
That's it. So my top two are already going to be the Clippers and the Nuggets.
Okay.
Now it does.
How many games is Kawhi playing this year?
Ooh, good question. I'm going to go 60.
You think he only needs to play 60 to get number one in the West?
Okay, you're right. 65.
I'm saying 70. Like I think he has to play 70.
He might have to play 70.
The West is loaded. The West has one team trying not to win games next year. The San Antonio Spurs are all in on Victor. Like they are ready for Victor. That's what they're doing. Everybody else is trying to get the playoffs. Like everyone else is trying. I don't know, man. Like I think he has to play 70 to get the number one seed.
He might have to. Man, that's very tough. Knowing his past, but I think he can do it. So I'm gonna go Clippers. I'm gonna go Nuggets.
Okay.
3 and 4. Whew. All right. So I'm gonna just put the Warriors 4. I'm gonna put the Warriors 4. 3. I don't trust the Lakers. I'm just gonna go out on a limb on the sand. I don't trust the Lakers. I want to put the Grizzlies there, but I really didn't buy into what they did last year. But I feel like they may be the safe choice at 3. They might be the safe choice. Every other team, I don't believe in the Mavericks like that. The Suns, I just feel like they're just declining. The Pelicans I think they could make the top 4. I think the Pelicans could make the top 4.
Again, Zion plays 70 plus games.
I mean 70 plus games. But that's my top. I'm gonna go with that. That's my top 4. That's my top 4.
So you're throwing the Pelicans in your top 4?
No.
Okay.
I said possibly.
Okay.
They could make the top 4, but my safe pick was the Grizzlies at 3. So Clippers, Nuggets, Grizzlies, Warriors.
I like it. Rashad, what about you?
I have my boy, he told me Zion's locked in, man.
Okay.
He told me Zion's locked in.
Different.
He said this is gonna be his season.
Can we also just point out that Zion did the rare thing where he's like, I'm not going to play until you already give me the supermax. Like, I'm going to eat whatever and just like do my own thing and really not be available until you actually pay me. Like this. And then he gets it like in shape. It's a great success story where he's like, hey, give me 300 million reasons to really try to be a member of the New Orleans Pelicans. And they're like, all right, I guess you've put, hey, when you've got us, you got us. We'll do it. Sure. Great.
There is an NFL equivalent to that.
Kyler Murray.
Oh, somebody else?
Who else are we talking about here?
Guys.
Who are we talking about?
He's not playing right now.
Uh-oh.
He's not playing right now?
He's not playing right now.
Who are we talking about?
Colin Kaepernick.
He's in Cleveland.
Oh, we don't have to. We don't. No, we don't. No.
That's why I wasn't saying the name. I was
That's
like,
true.
It's similar. I mean, it's much worse in real life stuff.
Very different reasons.
Very different reasons. All right. New Orleans Pelicans. I got the Pelicans because my boy said Zion's locked in. So I'm going with the Pelicans, a full season with CJ. BI, we already know what BI can do. They just have I don't know. I really like their group. I'm going to throw them in the top 4. That's the surprise team. That's the last year's Memphis Grizzlies this year.
I like that.
I don't know about Memphis this year just because like Ja Morant literally went to media day with the grill on. And him and his dad went on like a media tour. Like they went on a world tour this summer. Like I'm not feeling so confident about them. Like
wait, you don't like that? You don't like that he's doing all that?
No, I don't. It's not that I don't like it. It's just like I feel like people might get too comfortable once they get to a certain spot, and there's gonna be a hit of reality the next year.
Atlanta.
Look at the Atlanta Hawks last year. Trae Young does this, goes on the Wrestling Mania and does this, and then they get hit with reality. They think everybody's just gonna bow down to them because they made the Eastern Conference Finals the year before, and nobody believed in them, and they were the underdogs, and they said the same thing going into last year, and it didn't work. So I think that's gonna be Memphis next year, or this year. So I got Pelicans 4. I got the Warriors. I don't know if I want to put the Warriors at 2 or 3.
Okay.
And then, usually when you do that, they get 1, and then they're like, they didn't think we could do it.
We told you.
I mean, 1 after the schedule they just went through, the gauntlet, like that's a lot. If they're able to win the most regular season games after just playing the most that's a lot of games, and that's a lot of wins.
And they lost GP too.
They did lose
so
GP too.
I'm going. I want to say Clippers number 1. Who is it? No. That's Toronto, the team that was in Rico Hines every day. Hey, them jokers, they might get it from going to Rico. Anyways, I really want to say Clippers at 1.
Okay.
But I think I'm gonna go Nuggets at 1. Nuggets at 1. Warriors at 2. Clippers at 3. Pelicans at 4.
I like it. Y'all, I don't think are going to agree with my top 4.
Okay, go ahead.
And you have, you both did not put this team in the top 4, who I think is going to finish second or maybe first in wins. I think the Timberwolves are in the top.
I was just thinking about them in my mind. I'm not even going to lie to you. I was just thinking about them in my mind.
Like, I don't know where y'all are at with Anthony Edwards, but I think he's going to be the best player in basketball in the next 2 years. Like, I think that's coming. I mean,
I definitely don't see. I don't see that being something crazy.
I mean, there is another leap in what we've already seen to this point where I think he's 20. And I mean, there's the shots there now, the defense, everything with Anthony Edwards is just, the guy is just a superstar. And I think he's healthy, and he's going to be someone who's available and someone who is just going to get increasingly better. Karl Anthony Towns in a much better spot for him now. Just being the number 2 there. And they got thinner on the margins to give up as much as they did for Gobert. But that team, there's never been a more built for the regular season to gobble up as many wins as humanly possible as the current makeup of the Timberwolves. And I think we'll see what happens come playoff time, but I would be shocked if they're not in the top 4. If those 3 are healthy and wins, they're just going to be a pain in the ass on a random Tuesday. Like, you do not want to deal with Cat and Gobert with the Twin Towers there, and then Anthony Edwards just being what he is going forward. Like, I just think it's going to happen. It's the Luka thing and Trey thing, where it's like, if you're going to be a top 10 player, once you make the leap, usually the wins come with it. Like usually like the Zion thing is a big one, where Zion, if he's healthy and the defense gets better, like he's an immediate top 5 player in this league because he's just unguardable. Like we've already seen the offensive stuff where you can throw whatever you want at Zion. It doesn't matter. Zion's going to score. So I think it's like one of those two. And you mentioned Memphis. I'm right there with you on Memphis. Like Jaren Jackson's probably not playing basketball until January. And I've sold all my stock. Like I sold all of it a year ago on Memphis. Like this freaks me out. Jaw getting hurt again. Jaw, the way he plays is so much fun. Jaw is great for the community. Love watching Ja Morant play basketball. Ja Morant keep flying around. And the difference with Trey and smaller guards is just that like he's playing like Derrick Rose a little bit. Like he's flying, he falls really hard. AI was able to stay relatively healthy for a solid 12 years, so maybe Ja can do that, but he's already been banged up. He missed time in the last series we saw him in. Jaren has not played 82 games in several years now. That guy, an amazing basketball player. If you could turn injuries off, I'm all in on Memphis. Like they are a great basketball team. I am just never going to believe in that core. I think that's why I was like, just sell high on Jaren Jackson this summer. If you can get Kevin Durant, you need to expedite this process because I don't know how long this core is going to be healthy and have good value. Because you see how quickly things can change for these bigs. Like Kristaps was like a franchise guy, and then a couple years later, it's over. He is just a forgotten piece that everyone's like, oh, this contract's terrible. Like, and then it changes on a dime in the NBA. So I don't have Memphis in the top 4 for me. I have the Mavericks, who I think with Luka still, they're just going to gobble up regular season wins. Kid and company, I think they're going to be a top 5 defense. And Luka just carries you to a top 10 offense. I think they're going to gobble up wins. And I think Christian Wood's a really good fit for them. So I have Dallas at 4, Golden State at 3, Minnesota at 2, and Denver at 1. I think getting Jamal Murray.
The only one I don't agree with is Dallas. But continue first.
So tell me on Dallas. Why are you not in on Dallas?
I don't know, man. Like they just.
I see Luka and a bunch of other guys.
Mm-hmm. That's what it was last year.
But Jalen Brunson leaving, I feel like is a big thing too.
That is one that I am curious to see what that means for them. A lot of Mavs people like their first or late second rounder, Jaden Hardy, who a lot of folks were like, he's gonna be a player.
He's hard.
See, like I think he's gonna play for them.
Hardy's amazing. I've been watching him since high school, man. He's amazing. He was G League at night last year. I didn't know he went to Dallas.
Yeah, see, he fell.
Nah, he's tough.
He's making $1 million for Dallas this year. I don't know. I think you still get Spencer Dinwiddie, you get a healthy Tim Hardaway back. They know exactly who they are. They're not playing any real young guys outside of Hardy. Like it's just one of those teams where they're 3-D. They're gonna Luka's still gonna be a top 3 player in this league, and it's just gonna be enough to win a lot of regular season games. Like I don't see a path if Luka plays 80 that they're not in the top 4. I think they're at that point where Luka just raises the bar for them so high that I don't know. I don't see it.
It's not that crazy when you brought up because Dinwiddie, I forgot, was on Dallas, and he just had a funny media day moment for Dallas the other day. And but with Dinwiddie and THJ coming back, that's a decent squad.
I think they're gonna be all right.
Wood coming off the bench, aka 6'10" Kevin Martin.
6'10" Kevin Martin.
It'd be cool.
Malik, where does Jae Crowder fit? Because he's out in Phoenix. He's not going to be a part of this Phoenix Suns championship caliber roster anymore. And it's interesting, none of us threw in the Suns. I think the Suns are going the way of the Jazz. I think we can agree. Like the vibes and everything there is just, this is not ending well. And this, I'm out on the Suns and where they're going. But where do you see Jae Crowder landing, Malik?
I think there's only one option that has been on my mind, and it's Miami. I mean, they lost PJ Tucker, and they literally did not replace him with anybody. Like, if you look at Miami Heat fans, they're still worried about who's going to play the 4. Oh, move Bam to the 4, put Yurt at 5. I don't know if that's going to work, but Jae Crowder has been on the Heat before. He was on the Heat when they went to the finals. I think he just fits their culture, of course, like just the grit and the hard working. Like, he kind of reminds me of PJ Tucker, honestly. But I think Jay, like, and I don't know how the Heat are going to do it because I don't know what they're going to give up. Maybe they'll give up. I don't know if I heard that.
Mm-hmm.
But nah, I think if they're going to give up Duncan, I mean, they can give up Duncan because Duncan looked like he's not going to be playable.
Well, hold on. You're talking about a coworker here. The long shot with Duncan Robinson on the Blue Wire Pod Network.
I'm sorry. But yeah, I think the only choice is really Miami. Like, I don't really see, because he wants to start. I don't know where else he would possibly go and start. But
you know where he'd be fun? Atlanta. Like, oh my God, pick and pop with Trey and Duncan and having to deal with those two. Oh my God, if he was backing up John Collins and we were able to, that'd be fun. Where people are like, oh, but what are the defense? I'm like, man, we are at a point. We better see what happens with DeJounte in the defense. But like, there is a strong part of me that was just, let's just be the number one offense for the next couple of years and see what happens. Just surround Trey with nothing but shooters. And if we're 20th in defense, I don't really care. I would rather just be the number one offense year over year and just see what happens. I would rather roll the dice that way than trying to be even and try to be like number 5 offense and number 14 defense and see what that does. But I don't know. That'll be the next coach's job after fans lose their mind. Month 2 of Nate not staggering DeJounte Murray and Trae Young, where it's like, oh, maybe this is not the right situation for these two. Like, I have a Hawks take, but I don't think Nate McMillan is making it through this year. I think it's just,
that's a hot take.
Well,
I don't know, but it is a take.
He loves his all bench units. The man loves playing all bench units, and I don't know. I think it's going to be hard to navigate the DeJounte Trae backcourt, and you're going to have to be innovative in a way that I'm not certain he is going to be able to juggle those two superstars who want the ball in their hands. And Trae just saying all the right things right now, but if Trae is playing off the ball and DeJounte is doing stuff that Trae does not like, Trae is going to be like, this is my team. This has to stop. And I don't know. I don't think it's as seamless of a fit as a lot of Hawks fans have penciled in. Like, I think it's a boomer bust situation, and I'm excited to see what happens. It's a swing you had to take after the last couple of years, but it's one of those, it sounds so great in theory, Trae playing off ball, but he has been playing on ball for a very long time and has made a lot of money playing on ball and has gotten a team to the Eastern Conference Finals playing on ball, and you're just asking him to sacrifice in his prime years. And I don't know, it's easier said than done, and we'll just have to see. But Crowder in Miami does seem to make the most sense. And Duncan in Phoenix, I could see that too. And I don't know. I think that makes sense. What about you, Rashad? Where do you think Jay goes?
I like, yeah. One of the teams, I was thinking about this earlier tonight. A few of the teams that I was thinking that like fit wise, I don't know like how the money and everything works in Detroit, Boston, Miami, Atlanta, yeah, just really those three were the first three to really stick out. And like Miami for the exact same reasons that Malik said, losing PJ. Boston, I'm looking at from a contender standpoint, the way kind of their wings are and everything like that. When you think of Marcus, when you think of those tweeners, those like kind of guys that could do a little bit of everything. When you think of the young guys and everything like that they also have, I feel like Crowder is just like an older version of that. You can plug them in. You can plug them in really any contending team outside of, I would say, Philly. You can't plug him in there. I don't know if he really works in Brooklyn. But yeah, like you could plug him pretty much in any contending team and it works. So that's what I was thinking. I was just thinking East Coast teams that are really kind of like in the mix. And I think that's where he'll fit best.
Yeah. And we'll see. I'm going to go, my gut just says Miami, is they just filled that natural void because they didn't really do anything this offseason. They were like, we'll try getting Kevin Durant or somebody else, and that didn't happen. So they're just like, we'll find a 1-year stopgap, and that is Jae Crowder. I would not be surprised.
So you think for who?
Duncan doesn't sound crazy. Like Duncan seems like the odd man out there, but he's making a lot of money, and I think the money matches with those two, right?
He got what? Did he get
So
3
so
million?
Crowder's getting paid?
No, I think Crowder already did. What is his
No,
contract
no,
left?
no. I mean, no, no. I mean, like, I didn't know he was getting paid like that. Like, because
Well, he's got
obviously
10
everybody made the
million on
jokes
an
about Duncan.
expiring. So he's got 10 million on expiring, and Duncan's making 16. So it's pretty close. And if you literally just did, you probably have to send.
Who else
Man, they have a lot of guys you can't really trade yet. Like Caleb Martin is someone you would wait to move. But they like Caleb, but you can. I don't know. Well, you need to move 4. Yeah, that's a little bit more. I mean, Caleb Martin would probably have to be in the deal if you did this, or Dwayne Dedman. But Dwayne Dedman, I've reserved as a future Atlanta Hawk, who never should have left the Atlanta Hawks. Dwayne Dedman is my favorite big. Who the Hawk like? Dwayne Dedman's my guy. Like him and Trey had unbelievable chemistry. The pick and pop big. Him just ruining the Hawks first round series with him playing important minutes for the Heat was rough for me. Like as a Deadman guy,
it felt like it didn't work the second time they tried it though.
yeah,
Like it didn't work as well. Like on that, because that was like Lloyd Pierce's bread and butter. The stagger up there with Deadman and who was the other big though? I guess it would be Collins. Yeah, and then Collins will roll and Deadman will pop, or both of them will pop. Like I mean, that's all the Hawks did every single play.
Yeah.
And it worked the first time with but then second time around, it seemed like he was missing the jumpers, and I'm like, dang, what happened to you offensively? He still had the defense, but like the offense just kind of evaporated. And but yeah, no, I'm going on a tangent there about that.
Rashad, do you think SGA makes sense for the Raptors?
Yes.
Okay. What would it cost to get SGA?
You probably have to give up Malachi. This thing about Malachi. I'm trying to think. Fred?
Oh,
Fred hurts.
SGA is almost an all-star, right? He's a borderline all-star guy right now.
You might.
He was the guy I was pushing for the last 2 years to the Hawks to trade for. That was the one I wanted to pair Trey with. DeJounte's fine, but I'm a big SGA guy. Man, Fred VanVleet would hurt. That is a risky culture move.
I mean, but that's what it will take to get him, right?
Yeah, because you're not moving Siakam, right?
And I don't think all-star.
I would probably lean OG as the one to move in this situation, where I would be like, hey, like I guess it just depends on what OKC sees in OG. Because I don't really know if they want to get in the business of paying Fred VanVleet in his prime like this when they're not trying to win games right now. Like I don't know if he makes the most sense. Like OG is a good bet, and he's also making like $17 million. Maybe you take in Gary Trent's contract too, but I don't know. I think it's more about the picks. And then, I mean, they probably asked for Scotty Barnes, and you're like, all right, well, it's been a pleasure talking to you guys over there in Oklahoma City, but that's where this call ends. Yeah, I don't know. That's tough because if you move SGA, it's going to be one of their important pieces. It's just the culture aspect of it, where you've built this thing, and
he's the middle of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Malik, what about you? What do you think?
I understand the all-star for an all-star, but just like the way OKC is right now, like I don't think they're really committed to winning. So Fred would just be like, why did we just trade for this guy? We're not even trying to win. So I would say either OG or Scotty. But I honestly feel like they'll ask for Scotty. I honestly think it would, but Scotty's
you can ask. You can keep asking all day. You can text Sam Presky and text Masai all he wants. You're not getting Scotty.
If it was for like, I guess to match contracts or whatever, because I mean Scotty's still on his rookie contract. It'll have to probably be OG and like somebody who else on their team, like Rashad said, maybe Malachi. I don't know how much is Thaddeus Young still on the Raptors, or did he leave?
That's a good question. Did he get re-signed? I mean, I saw that Twitter video of him talking about like getting paid and doing.
You don't have to average 20 points to play 15 years, young boys. I love this. I played on this goal since I was 5 years old.
But shout out to him. It's worked. But also you have to have that mindset where it's so much easier said than done. Where Thad was like, "Nah, I'm not a star. Like I got to do other stuff, and I'm just gonna get paid doing other stuff for a long period of time." But a lot of guys, it's just tough for them to get to that point where they're like, "I'm not a star. I am a role player, and I can get paid and do well doing this other thing, but I have to transition." But Thad was like, "I transitioned. I was good, and I've just been doing my thing for." 12 years now? 13? How long has he been in the league?
Minute.
It sounded like he said 15 on that video.
Did he say 15?
It sounded like that's what he said on the video.
Has
15.
it been that long since he was at Tech?
And I was about to say, like, I remember him in college, like, but that's how I feel with everybody now. Like, I remember LeBron in high school.
Yeah, can you imagine being the coach for Bronny James for a year in college? Can you imagine? Like LeBron's just roaming your practice and like roaming your sidelines, and then there's like oh my god, what am I blanking on? The agent,
Rich.
Yeah, Rich Paul, on the other side of the court, just watching to like, because it seems like he's gonna go to Oregon, like the Nike connections and everything. It feels like he ends up at Oregon if he goes anywhere,
or Ohio State.
Ohio State's pressure though. I keep him away from there.
I don't think he's going. I don't think he's going to NC Central, unfortunately.
No,
unfortunately, because I mean, like, LeBron was, George Floyd happened. LeBron was like, "Man, I wish we could do it all over again. I go to an HBCU or Akron State." LeBron, you weren't going to the University of Akron, and you weren't going to an HBCU, bro. You were going to UNC or Ohio State.
Travis Hunter did it though.
Yeah, he did.
Travis Hunter did it.
I don't think Bronny is. I think Mikey Williams is going to do it. I think Mikey Williams is going to pull the trigger, but I don't think Bronny is. I mean, because Bronny hasn't even taken any visits or any, you know what I'm saying? Unless he like pulls a Travis Hunter and is like, has the Oregon, Ohio State hat, and then maybe like a G League hat, and then like he's like wipes the table. Yeah, NC Central, let's go.
Well, I think I wonder if part of the issue though is for those West Coast kids is just that's the other side of the country. Family can't come. It's like, I mean, I understand that they have the means to get back and forth, but I think that is part of it. Like Travis Hunter is from Collins Hill. Like it's not that crazy to go from like you just came from Mississippi to Atlanta. Like like there is a difference between flying across the country from California, asking a California kid to go to an HBCU because just there's so many in the Southeast and on the East Coast. Like that's just the other side of the country.
Yeah, Josh Christopher, remember, took that visit to Howard, and he was strongly considering it. And I think the only reason why he didn't do it was because that distance. It should have been also because Howard doesn't have the. If you're going to go to an HBCU as a basketball player, you need to go to Central, in my opinion. But I mean, I don't know. Like Mikey's taking the visit to JSU, and they got Mo Williams now, so I think
he's at ASU, right? Alabama State.
No, he's at JSU now.
Oh, did Mo Williams leave?
He flipped.
I didn't know that.
So they made Jackson State made their coach retire, and they hired Mo.
That is a good, 1-2 combination with Dion, and
that's exactly why they did it, because Mo Williams, his cousin, was Dion's assistant, who now she moved to Alabama State, so they kind of like did a swap in exchange. I don't know if the NCAA wants to look into that.
They played Tennessee in the regional. They played in
the Super regional. Alabama State just got a good athletic program in general.
Where is it in Alabama?
Montgomery.
It's in Montgomery. Okay.
So right on that line. Another place where I used to live, close to there. An hour north of that, in Valley.
There you go. Which one was Hendon Hooker's brother played it? Like I think NC Central. Is that right? Is there an NC Central too?
Yeah, NC Central is the best college program for HBCUs.
Okay, then I think that's where he was.
That's Lavelle Matan, I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. Went to the same high school as Nate McMillan. Chris Paul's boy. He's got them boys right. Like his goal was to get to the Sweet 16 a couple years ago. It didn't happen, but he's the coach that you want to play for. That's a program that McCord should have went to. But he went to Howard because Howard's a bigger name in HBCU land, but they just don't have, what I'm saying?
Sports infrastructure.
The structure, exactly. So, I mean, NC Central is a school you want to go to as a basketball player if you want to play for HBCU.
And then like the thing with Dion, when people are throwing that out for Tech, which I think would be super cool, like Dion at Tech would be cool. But I think what people miss, and I think just talking to folks, and you were in there, Rashad, like Dion's invested in Jackson, and
It's
he's
a
in.
I think it's kind of like he wants to prove everyone wrong.
Yeah.
Because like he started off, when Shador, his youngest son, when Shador was, junior, senior, he's been saying ever since then that he wanted to coach in college once his son was done in high school. So, he's going around saying this for years. He gets interviews with large programs. They don't give him the time of day. It's like they entertain it. They leak it out to the media that he interviewed with them just to get some clout. And then but they really didn't take it seriously. So, what I'm saying? He took that personally. So he was like, I'm going to take this school. I'm going to make it lit. I'm going to make it the best thing, I think it's kind of like him flexing his ego.
But he's also genuine. Like what he does in the community, like he cares. And I think people throw it around. I'm like, I think it's going to take a big, big job to pull Dion away from Jackson. I think he's content for a while. I also
think it's going to take a couple years.
Yeah.
Just for his kids to get out. Like I think Shiloh, since Shiloh's hurt, like I think Shiloh got an extra red shirting year. So Shiloh might be only like a sophomore, even though he's played like 3 years of college football. Shador, of course, has 2 more years left. I don't know if he gets that COVID. No, he doesn't get that COVID. Yeah, he's racking up. And side note, rest in peace, Coolio, man. Coolio died like at the beginning of us recording. I got a text message, man. So rest in peace, Coolio. Yeah, man. But Shador has a couple years, and then his daughter's a freshman on the women's basketball team, so she has 4 years. So if you just look at kind of coaches, kind of history, like he stays all 4 years with his kids. Even when he got the job at Jackson State, it happened during his son's senior year, and he was like, I got to finish his senior year before I move to Mississippi. So I think that's what's genuine.
Family's number one for him. Like he's not. Yeah, I don't know. Also, the weird part about the transfer portal and everything, it's like if you pull like Florida, it's not Florida State because they're having a great year, but like if you're Tech or something, you're getting Travis Hunter probably in this now, where you get the waiver, so you're getting like this whole the avalanche of all these transfers and dudes who want to play for Dion, and we'll see. I mean, you got Hugh at Grambling State. Like we'll see.
But the thing is though, Chase, Dion's trying to get to the FBS.
Yeah.
Because if he does, he gets a $300,000 raise bonus. Like if they switch conferences out of the SWAC, they get a raise. So he's been talking about he's been wanting to go.
Where would they go though?
I don't know. But if they move, he gets his raise. JSU gets more resources, more scholarships, right? Because right now the only reason why they can't compete with the big schools is not because of talent. They got 3 5-stars and so and so. Probably,
but FCS gets what, like 60 something, and isn't it limited? It's something like 60 or 50 something.
It's very limited, limited compared to the Power Fives. So if he gets in one of those FBS programs and gets more scholarships available to him, he's going to fill that out, and that's a roster that can compete with anybody. And then you're talking about, okay, what is it? No, he's going to get even more recruits now, because a lot of the recruits that might be holding off is like, the competition, what I'm saying? The competition, or, I'm going to be stuck here in the SWAC. No, you can play now on the FBS level on a weekly basis. What would Dion even want to leave at that point? More money will be the only thing. If all his kids have graduated in 4 or 5 years, he's got the new stadium built, and it's the only thing that will pry him away is more money at that point. And that's like, you're talking 4 or 5 years down the line at that point. So, I mean, yeah, he's there for at least another 4 or 5 years.
Well, there you go. We ended on the Jackson State conversation, but it's part of it, man.
Well, what else was didn't we have another NBA topic?
Oh, Lonzo Ball, never playing basketball again.
Lonzo Ball, man. He can't even walk up the stairs. It's a sad thing. I got my ZO2s. Y'all make sure y'all support the big baller brand. I do.
Okay.
They're like 120, bro. Yeah.
Are they comfortable?
Yes, very comfortable. wear them all the time. They look amazing. Malik
Uh-huh.
seen me with them on. I wear them a lot.
Okay.
Beautiful shoes. Jellos, the G3s, they're also about 120 now. The only shoes that are 500 and up still are Lavars, you know. So yeah, they're very affordable. Didn't really get publicized when they came out with an affordable shoe,
Uh-huh.
but these cars are circling around me. All right. But yeah. Anyways, that's a side note on the business side of things. Shout out to LaMelo, man. Doing the thing. He said he was gonna be the best. They said he was gonna be the best, and he ended up being the best. Lonzo, how does that affect Chicago season? Man, you got my boy AC. Shout out AC, man, the Great White Hope. Man.
I love that he was not allowed to change his jersey number
Oh
because
yeah,
he's
yeah,
selling too
yeah.
much.
Like,
That
Well,
is
that's
amazing.
insane.
right?
Shout
Yeah,
out to
but
Caruso.
wouldn't it like increase, like, that's why LeBron switches jerseys, like, because it sells more jerseys if he changes his number.
Yeah.
But like, so I thought that was
Well,
kind
speaking
of
of, is
a weird
LeBron
argument.
23 or 6 this year?
He's 6, right?
So he got
did
grandfathered
switch
in.
back?
Did he get grandfathered into the Bill Russell
Because
stuff?
of Bill Russell thing.
Because he put that in before Bill Russell.
But
then,
someone was trying to wear 6, right, to honor
yes.
Bill Russell. Who was that around the league on a new team? He went to a new team.
DeAndre Jordan.
It was like, though, I was like, I remember it was a random player, and he's on the Nuggets now.
Yeah.
And he said, I want to wear it to. I'm like, bro, like, you're
not even playing.
Yeah.
You don't need a number.
Bill Russell rolling over in his grave, bro. He said,
Also,
y'all gonna let DeAndre Jordan? Heck nah.
Love Bill. Does it make sense that every team in the league has to retire number 6?
Whew. Bill is pretty legendary. I mean,
but like 6 gone across the league, no one can wear it. 6.
He's like is he Jackie Robinson? Like,
yeah, like Jackie.
He did a lot. Like Bill.
Yeah.
Bill was close to Jackie. Like when you're talking about, okay, like this man sat out of the game in a preseason because like they wouldn't let his boys, eat at the diner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's big. Before he even got in the league, he demanded a trade from the Hawks because St. Louis is racist. So like there's a lot of Jackie Robinson stuff in there, the whole thing of them vandalizing his home when he was gone. So it's a lot of Jackie Robinson-esque stuff in his story. I don't know, man. I feel like the finals MVP named after him is enough. Like, and he got to see that when he was living. He got to give it out to a few players while he was living. I like that. I don't think that, you should do something extra like that when he dies just because he died, right? Like,
well, it's also like kind of nice. I don't know if this is the right way of looking at it, but like if a player like with DeAndre, like we're joking about DeAndre repping it, but like if a lot of dudes looked up to Bill and they want to honor Bill Russell, like wearing the uniform and just talking about like why number 6 is important to them, I feel like that would have a bigger impact, right? Like just being like, Bill was my guy and I'm wearing this number for Bill Russell's legacy. And like that keeps it going because it's like, why are you wearing 6? Oh, 6 is because of this.
But look, the 6 is already on.
That's true.
On the sleeve right
and
here.
It's struggling over there because they have the Jumpman logo, and you're just like, there's no space for any of this. It looks so weird. The Suns one, it's like clipped off. Where I'm like, oh, this is not. They have too much going on now.
We're getting to the point where the WNBA jerseys, like it was redone in 180. The WNBA jerseys look better than the NBA jerseys, and the NBA jerseys look like NASCAR shirts now. But where was I going with that? Kobe Bryant. Chase, going back to 2020 discussion, do you think Kobe Bryant should be changed to the logo?
No.
Why not?
I mean, look, I got a Kobe stuff. Like, I got a lot of Kobe stuff in my house. Love Kobe. I also just, I mean, it's tough because like so much of it is just the dumb nostalgia where it's just like I associate the NBA with the logo. Like it's just the logo. Like I didn't even know who Jerry West was when I like am watching the NBA and I like identify with that logo. I think that's a huge risky proposition to throw that out and throw something else in where people might have to double take of like, who is that? And I don't know, like there's something about it where it's just dumb. Like my brain is nostalgic about something that makes no sense. It's just stupid that my brain just thinks of that logo being, it's literally called the logo, and he has been the logo, where you're like, does it matter that much? And does it make more sense to give it to Kobe? Like, would I be upset? Like, anyone who has like a strong take on this stuff need to reevaluate their lives. Like, it's just not that serious. But like, would it affect my day? No. Would it be cool? That's fine with me. Like, I'm fine with either. I just think from like a branding perspective, like it would be wild to think of the NBA logo with a different silhouette. Like that would take a lot of time to get used to.
Let me take you back, Chase.
2006,
October 2006. The NBA, David Stern thinks it's a grand idea to reinvent the NBA basketball. How did you feel that month?
Well, I've never been asked this question. I have no idea how to answer that, Rashad.
I'll tell you what I thought. I thought it was ugly and I hated it and I never got used to it. And everybody else complained about it and they changed the basketball back. And I was so happy because it was like, if he changed it at the NBA level, what does that mean for us? Like every hooper has to get new balls now.
Yeah. Are you a Spalding or a Wilson guy?
Spalding.
See, I've always been Wilson. Wilson's the one I will go to my grave that Wilson has. I shoot better with Wilson. It's like it flows better. I can see it. Like there's something about Wilson that just always felt better for me. Spalding was a little bit rougher. Like I feel like Wilson's were just a smoother handle and smoother coming off your hand. I don't know. That's me.
Nah, I'm a Spalding guy. I think it's
Malik,
I think it's
Spalding
just
or
a
Wilson?
name brand thing.
Spalding. I'm Spalding for sure.
Interesting. Okay. I always like the WNBA ball too, though. I like the color on the WNBA ball. I like the contrast. I think it looks cool. But I don't know. Malik,
this is about Chicago. I'm
sorry. We're done. We're done.
Man, the Chicago Bulls ain't gonna do nothing without. I know. I think they're about the same team, I guess, that they were at the end of the season. They had no Lonzo then.
I just feel bad for him. Like he did surgery and then he rehabbed and did everything else, and he's just like, I still can't run or anything. Like that just sucks. Like it really, really sucks. So like Chicago fans, stop getting onto Lonzo because I think he was getting a lot of heat by not being available, and it's like that dude is going through hell just trying to get back. Like that sucks.
Yeah. I mean, I think they say he hasn't played since January.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Because I think he had surgery around then, either January or February, and then all this rehab, and it still just isn't working. And now he has to have surgery again. Like the frustration of doing the surgery right away and then going through all this PT and then still not working. I mean, that I just could not imagine. That man has been doing nothing but just riding. Like as a person with a foot fracture right now, dealing with something like that in your knee for 9 months, that's got to be just insane. And I love watching Lonzo play, and he's really come into his own and figured out who he is as a basketball player post LA. Malik, what can the good folks check out from you from Rolling Out, Peachtree Hoops, everywhere else this week?
Man, well, Peachtree right now we're doing player previews, so we're knocking those out before the season starts. So you guys can check me out there. Rolling Out, man, I really can't even give you one main thing. I'm kind of doing a lot of stuff, so whatever you need, I got it.
There you go. And then, I mean, we got Rashad for Rolling Out doing, I mean, he is out here reviewing films. Like, who knows what he's going to be doing around Atlanta for this magazine. You never know where you might see him out at.
That thing, man, that film right there, never again, bro.
Don't get fired, Rashad.
And it was a coworker's fault, too. It's go. Never again, bro. But, man, Chris Williamson has bullied me into, like, being semi-active on Twitter again. So I'm logged in. I still spend most of my time on timelines on the Armchair account, but I'm logged in now to my Twitter. So I'm on the Twitter. So
you're on Rashad Milligan.
Yeah, I'm on my Twitter because Chris Williamson has bullied me into it. And so I hate it. I absolutely can't stand it. And then I'm also like, it's also, a lot more people reach out now on DMs. So it's just kind of easier to, at least have the account open to see like, okay, if someone DMs me, I won't reach back in 2 months and be like, my bad, bro. But yeah, so Rashad Milligan, that is my Twitter.
There you go.
And every now and again, I say probably every couple of weeks, I'll probably be like uploading a random thread of a bunch of random stories. Like Malik said, from Rolling Out, I want to get back into Peachtree, but the rolling out dynamic with the Hawks is a bit weird right now. So we're trying to figure that out to allow me to still do Hawks stuff. But I want to cover the league right now because this will be my 8th year.
Mm-hmm.
I think 8th year. 8th year, yep. I always have to do it by my age. So like 8th year before 28. That's always been my thing. So I would love to cover the league for my 8th year. And
Wait, 8th year before 28th what?
So my 28th birthday.
So you didn't start at 28.
No,
You're not 30. I'm like, you're not 36. I was like trying to figure out the math. I was like, from when you're
No.
Okay. The way you phrased that, I was like, whoa. There's no way Rashad's older than me.
My bad. No. So my 25th birthday, when I was 24, it was my 5th season. I was like, yeah, it's my 5th season covering the league before 25.
Okay, I get you.
So this will be my 8th season covering the league before 28.
Oh, you're closing in on 30. You're closer to 30 than you are 20, Rashad.
100. Oh, no. I've accepted that.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It's good. Acceptance is good.
It is what it is.
Age comes for us all. Rashad, Malik, thank you as always for making the time. It's great reconnecting with you guys, and I'll talk to you both again soon.